everybody. Okay, so I am between, sorry, I just get all, I have mopped, I swept, then I mopped, then I did dishes. I have to go freeze some ribs and I have to freeze some taco meat. I have one other thing to do and then I can get back to my sewing. But I realize that I'm kind of sorry. If you see a bra strap, at least you know I wear one. So they're not hanging down to the ground. That kind of tends to happen after, let's say you start that in about your 50s. Been so long, I just don't even keep up. But I'm going to try to do things in a little bit better order. However, I just thought if, there are any of you that would like to partake of wine, if if you have a drink that you favor, and or if you smoke the happy grass or eat edibles, or get in one of those type moods. If you did that and then you watch this video, not me speaking, okay, because I'm not like the most entertaining in the world, but I swear I was watching, I'm rewatching the trial because I'm just trying to, a few things bother me about that. One is the judge, when she talks to the jury and she's like, all the evidence you've been given. And I'm not sure what trial Beverly attended, but the one that I watched was built on speculation, somebody's idea of what happened, a timeline that doesn't match up with their story, and scientifically proven to be impossible. However, they still claim that they have a case and that they are going to retry Karen Read, although the judge never asked them if they were hung on all counts. So, anyway, there were some entertaining questions. Now, one of the things I would like to know, and if any of you can point it out to me and correct me, that would make me feel a little better, because as I'm watching back, and so far I'm just down to Mullaney. Now I have notes and I have some things that I'm going to say about some of the ones that I've seen already, but Mullaney, Lally's questioning regarding Mullaney is the part I think that you ought to watch when you're had a few teetotaling drinks or some good puffs or whatever, because not only is it comical and entertaining, it's just absolutely confusing as hell. And the man can't think of how to pose a question. And the other thing I want to say about Lally that I noticed is he was so soft-spoken and tender and nice to each one of his witnesses. And he was an absolute ass to the experts. That's just my humble opinion. But one of these, he's asking Mullaney, what was it? Sort of the route you took. So Fairview Road runs between, it runs sort of between two other major roads in Canton. So what is the other sort of major road on sort of the other, I guess, intersection? I don't know, but the sort ofs and the wheres. First of all, does it matter how the first responders drove, like the route? Do we care? Does it matter? In this case, I don't believe it does. especially not with each and every person that he's going to put on the stand. So that's just a lot of hot air, wasted time. That is not evidence. What people were drinking is not evidence. I mean, Lally basically wanted to get, Jen McCabe up there so that she could say what she thought happened, and so that she could sell her story to everyone, because there was no evidence. There was no evidence. 6 inches of snow. He was on top of 6 inches of snow, barely covered, which means his shoe would have been right there for you to see. It would have taken nothing to see the shoe. And it wouldn't have taken anything to see red pieces in white snow. Because just a dusting of snow doesn't hide everything. Anyway, let me see what else was it that he said. Oh, I love this. What if anyone arrived first? I mean, who, if anyone, arrived first? What, if anything, sort of road conditions, visibility, etc.? Was it still dark? We're talking about 6 a.m. Yes, it was still dark. It was blizzard conditions at that time. When Karen Read went home to One Meadows, it was just starting to storm. Even though you're building this storm up to be massive, which, according to y'all, it was, I wouldn't know, because any snow to me that sticks on the ground is rather massive in Texas. But, so the snow fell. He was on 6 inches of it. Common sense. Anybody, common sense. Does anybody have any common sense? That right there should have stopped everything. Because she was gone before 6 inches of snow accumulated. Let's see, was there any other stupid question? And did you sort of activate your lights and sirens? Did you sort of? So anyway, these were some comical questions and answers, I thought, and this is just a smartass opinion, and quite frankly, I think I'm a smartass. I have a lot of opinions. I use common sense, but yeah, I can be a smartass. So at least I'm a comical smartass, right? I hope y'all enjoy these. I got some things to do, and hopefully I'll get my other videos going soon. I've got to figure out how to get all this stuff off the cloud and on my computer, because I don't want to lose. I've got a lot of very, very, very personal memories on my phone that I got to get into my computer, and all this. I'm so unorganized when it comes to my photos, and they're all over the place. So I hope y'all have a good day. I hope you enjoyed my humor. Maybe I should label some for funny, some for serious. I don't know. Bye.
Cedar Crest from Dedham, and then a left onto Fairview Road from Cedar Crest.
And so Fairview Road runs sort of between two other more major roads in Canton, fair to say?
Yes.
And you mentioned Cedar Crest, is that correct?
Yes.
And Cedar Crest is off of Dedham?
Correct.
And so what is the other sort of major road on the other sort of intersecting side of Fairview Road?
Chapman Street.
Okay. So when you're coming from Cedar Crest onto Fairview, about how far into Fairview is 34?
2 houses down on the right.
So the house would have been on your right, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. from your department was dispatched to this call as well.
Officer Sarif.
And who, if anyone, arrived first?
Officer Sarif had arrived prior to my arrival.
And Officer Sarif, as far as which direction was his cruiser facing? The same as yours, directly at yours, or something else?
I don't recall.
You recall seeing Officer Sarif during your en route time, sort of between the station and arriving on the scene?
I do not know.
Now, as far as when you're driving, you recall sort of what position his body was in when you first observed him?
He was lying face up, as was back on the ground.
And you recall where he was in relation to the roadway, if you could tell?
Yeah, he was on the front lawn. So, I didn't know exactly where the curb was, but I would think about, approximately 10 feet from the curb.
And so you mentioned that you couldn't tell exactly where the curb was. Why is that?
There was snow on the ground.
So the snow sort of covered the curb at that time that you're there, is that correct?
Yes.
But you approximately was about 10 feet into the lawn.
Yeah.
And the snow on the curb, correct?
Yes.
What, if any, sort of other things in addition to that, from a weather perspective? What was the temperature like out at that time?
It was very cold. It's cold.
Do you have any estimate as far as to how cold?
25, and it was windy.
And when you say windy, could you expound upon that as far as like what kind of wind? Are we talking constant wind, gusts, or something else?
I would say gust to constant.
And fairly strong winds, light winds, what kind of?
Not necessarily strong, light winds, but it was definitely windy.
And during that sort of total time, about 90 minutes or so that you were on scene, was the weather consistent throughout that entire period that you were on scene?
That I recall, yes.